Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope you're having a great day. I am here by myself today because I think Donovan he got caught up, so I kind of knew he might not be here. But if he pops in, that's great. But anyway, I should say that the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, a big giant thank you to my moderators. You are the best to ever do it. Could not and would not do this without you. So today we're going to be talking about President Donald Trump bringing back immigrants to work the fields because Blacks won't do it. Now, I'll show y'all a video. And of course, we'll get into all of that. Very interesting times that we're in, I must say. So give everybody a moment to come on, and I'll see who's in the comment section. Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. LaShondra, what is going on? Mars says, I'm just tuning back in. Yes, indeed. Hey, King Charles, how you doing? Michelle, what's going on with you? Jamal, hope you're having a great day. Mike, nice. Troy, Kat, and Jacqueline, what is going on with you? Of course, we were not live. We had a podcast earlier where we discussed, the mayhem, if you will, that took place here in Houston in regards to the beauty supply opening. And, we kind of broke down some of the narratives and stereotypes and things like that going on with it. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out after this show. It's on my channel here. Who else do we have here? Jesse, how you doing? Hope that you are well. L, what's going on with you? Brother Reggie in the building. Brother Samuel, how are you doing? T. Austin, what is up? Long time no see. Well, and what is going on? Says I called it when I said that's what he meant by Black jobs. Carrie, how you doing? And Yvette, long time no see. So anyway, give everybody just another moment. King Noble, hope that you are doing well. Veronica, what is going on with you? I'm gonna get me one of those looking glasses one day, like they did. I was at Romper Room, and when they named all the people that they see through the looking glass. I don't know why, just saying hello to y'all reminds me of that. All right, so anyway, let's get started. Raymond, what's going on with you? So Trump was on, I think it was NBC or something like that. And he was having a conversation, and I saw this clip going viral. Now, if you ask me, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit in the last couple of weeks, Trump seems like, I don't know, maybe he's got something going on, like they accused Joe Biden of having something going on, and they're still talking about it, right? They're having all these hearings, or they're getting ready to see who knew what and when they knew it about Joe Biden and his cognitive, allegedly, right, decline. And so I don't know, I'm not a professional of any kind, but I can kind of see things, and it looks like maybe Trump is having a cognitive decline, because when they say people get older, sometimes they just say stuff, right? And it's not necessarily a lie, it's the truth, but they just kind of say it, and it's like, oh, did I say that? Because, when you're younger and you're a little bit more spry, you're like, okay, I'm going to think it, but I'm not going to say it. But when people get older, they just kind of say whatever. So let's go ahead and get into what exactly he said. Are y'all ready? Here you go.
But, Mr. President, I just want to hear you clearly. You're saying the people who have been here for years and who have been even paying taxes, you're going to look at them very differently, and maybe they belong here in the workforce?
I want to work with them, and in some cases, we're sending them back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on. But we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These people that you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? You know, these are very, you know, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to play that again for those of y'all that might be like, what? I'm going to play it again. Here you go.
But, Mr. President, I just want to hear you clearly. You're saying the people who have been here for years and who have been even paying taxes, you're going to look at them very differently, and maybe they belong here in the workforce?
I want to work with them, and in some cases, we're sending them back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on. But we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. You know, these people that you can't replace them very easily. You know, people that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. Naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? You know, these are very, you know, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
So I just wanted y'all to hear that twice. So basically, and if you saw the look on the lady's face, she was kind of low-key horrified, like, is this man really going there? Now, of course, to me, he sounded like somebody's grandpa who just had a little bit too much to drink and just kind of saying things that you wouldn't say in mixed company, saying things that you would say behind closed doors, but not when you get to Thanksgiving, you know, in front of everybody, you just say whatever you want, right? That's kind of what I got. But just again, he says that the people that are leaving or being deported, he's going to allow them to come back in once they go back home and learn and go get some schooling. These are his words, schooling, and then come back in here legally, because the end of the day, the farmers are suffering. But they kind of knew that was going to happen, right? Now, he and Tom Homan are going on with this mass deportation thing, right? They're aiming to get 2 million immigrants out of the country by the end of this year, which is what, a couple of months from now, right? Sounds like maybe they're at 2,000, give or take, 200,000 rather, people deported. So they're behind. But Trump's, a lot of his homies own farms and businesses that are attached to farms, right? Where you grow food and you have meat and things like that. And they're like, yo, and this is what he said a couple months ago. They told him, listen, you get a little too heavy handed, okay? You doing too much. Right? You're getting rid of the workforce. We don't have employees to work the fields, and the stuff is going bad. So I'm sure this is where this is coming from, right? So his main concern is about the farmers. Now, with that, he's saying, again, these people need to come back because they can't be replaced, right? Then he says the people in the inner city, okay? Who's in the inner city? Or at least who used to be, right? Used to be more Black Americans, right? Black people in the inner cities. So he's talking about us. Not, we won't do it, is what he said. They're not doing it. And they, you know, they won't do it. And I'm trying not to laugh. But then he says the immigrants, they just do it naturally. It's just naturally something that they do. Then, of course, he's having a conversation with somebody about what happens when their backs go bad. He says, well, their backs don't go bad because when their backs go bad, they die. And it's not, I'm not laughing at, I'm just laughing at all of it, right? And even the dude at the end he was talking to was trying to cut him off, right? He was trying to like interrupt. And then, of course, Trump was like, okay, go ahead. So there's a couple of things here, right? Says that they do it naturally. Now, who used to do it naturally? Black Americans used to do it naturally, right? On those things they call plantation, where there was cotton, tobacco, rice, you name it, right? We used to do it naturally. But we stopped doing it once slavery was over, and then we migrated from the South, right? It used to be predominantly us. Then it said that it was poor whites, and then Hispanics largely came in, you know, or whatever, to do the work. Now it says Black Americans likely make up a small minority of crop field. This is today, right? Crop field workers, approximately tens of thousands rather than hundreds of thousands. Immigrant workers dominate U.S. farm labor, about 70% or roughly 1 million or more, with a significant number, 40 to 42% being undocumented, right? So there's a lot of them that are undocumented. So of course, a lot of them are being sent back. Now, the other thing, it says the shift from a majority, as I was saying, Black agricultural labor force in the early 1900s to a majority immigrant workforce today is the result of historical migration patterns that move Black Americans away from rural field work, persistent low wages, and poor labor protections, making the work unattractive to those with other employment options, and deliberate recruitment of immigrants through legal and informal channels to meet farm labor demand. So basically, in short, it's saying Black Americans ain't showing up for no $2, $3, $4 to be working in no fields all day, right? Our people did it for free for a very long time, and we're not doing it for next to nothing. So they knowingly get immigrants to come over and work the fields, right? But again, Trump was in there kind of heavy-handed doing the most, sending them back. And so his homies are suffering. But as many have said, Trump, I think, has said the quiet part out loud, right? Blacks ain't going to do it. We can't get them to do it. They haven't figured out a way to do it yet, right? So we need to bring the immigrants back. Now, remember, this was Trump and his administration talking about, oh, we're doing this mass deportation. We getting them out of here. And he was doing that. And now all of a sudden, he's going to let them come back in. Once, like, what are they going over back home to get? He says get schooling and they're going to learn. What are they going to learn, right? Are they going to go home and learn English? Like, what exactly are they going to learn? They're going to let them come over here legally, and then they could work. Now, watch this. Watch how fast they're allowed to come over here legally. It's probably going to be easier than it's ever been before, because the bottom line is his homies that are losing profit and product due to people not working those fields. So I want to see what y'all have to say about this. And I see there's a lot of comments already. So let's see. And welcome to everybody. I just thought that was so funny. Funny in the sense that, yeah, Trump is starting to, he's starting to do some wonky things mentally, in my opinion. And, you know, I don't know everything. All right, so I'm going all the way back up. Give me a moment. Did I say hello to you, Raymond? If not, hello, Lisa, too. What's going on? She says, made it home in time for another live. Yes, indeed. Woohoo. Rex, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Cloudness, what is going on with you? Laverne, hope you're having a great day. Says, just finished Phil's podcast. Okay, or broadcast, rather. And he'll be on at 7 p.m. tonight at Central Time. So we'll all be watching it then. Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? And Jamal says, is money laundering? Is who money laundering? Soto, what's going on? He says, when you went way back with the romper room. I know, right? That goes to show you how old I am. Jamal said, it's money laundering. Okay. L, what's up? He says, I think those farmers don't want Black people working for them, and we don't want to work for them. We don't. We're not trying to go and do that. Unless, like I said, I'll go out in the field for $30 an hour. I ain't going to be there all day, though. I'll go out there and pick a little strawberry. And, you know, I ain't picking no cotton. I'll go out there 4 hours, and then you must let me go home, okay? You ain't going to keep me. Anyway, Queen Adia, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Randy C. in the building. Brother Randy says, Huffington Post, show me the full unedited clip. Actually, it wasn't the Huffington Post. So again, it was CNBC. But I actually saw it on CNBC. This was just easier for me to download from TikTok, but Huffington Post posted it as well. The man said it. Yeah, Tracy, inner city. Yeah, you know who's in the inner city. Yes, Queen Adia, they want cheap labor, and Black people like, you know what? I'm sorry. Money Moves, how you doing? Says, I'm glad 47 figured it out. Okay, Jacoby, what's going on with you? Lucky Me say he's nuts. And how you doing? Brother Don, what's going on with you? Hope you're having a beautiful day. Tanya, what is up? He says, just weird. Tracy says the farmers can do some of their own work, or are they too lazy? Yeah, because that's what happened when we migrated from the South to the North. They said poor whites were doing it. Where they at? They can't do it. I'm just saying they used to, and like you said, what happened to the farmers? They too good to pick their own strawberries or whatever it is. I don't know. Sass, how you doing? Says truth is truth. Let's see. Diane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Randy says if they don't have to pay taxes, then no citizens should have to. Yeah, I get you. Miss Virgo, how you doing? Says y'all delusional, but love y'all massa. Who is this y'all and who's massa? Tanya says, but didn't give a damn about the black farmers. Yeah, and they're going through it. I think didn't he remove the special protections and stuff that they had, that Biden and them reluctantly gave them, that Biden and them lied and said, oh, we're doing something for black farmers. It's like, yeah, you did, but you did something for women farmers. This was all included in that, this black farmer thing. Women farmers, Native Americans, and a whole bunch of other marginalized farmers, right? So it wasn't like they just did something for black farmers who were probably more disenfranchised than any of them, but they went off that as the narrative that they did for black farmers. Like, no, you kind of did for all farmers. And then white farmers got mad. So, yeah. Kat, how you doing? And Carrie says, so these so-called leaders saying they did not think this through. No, I mean, but that's kind of what happens too when you let power go unchecked. When I say power, you got, Trump just kind of doing any and everything, and everybody's watching him do it. They're like, oh, okay. Which is why in Texas, you hear about a lot of the Democrats leaving, or they've left rather. Over 50 of them have left because they want to, they break the quorum is what they did, so that they were not able to vote on the redistricting, which is gerrymandering 5 Democrat seats or areas that's predominantly, as they say, black and brown. So the Democrats are saying, well, if y'all won't stop them, we'll stop them by just leaving the state. But yeah, that's what happens when it goes unchecked. You have most of your workforce end up getting shipped on out of here, right? One who cares, how you doing? Sean, what's going on with you? Says, I don't know why people hate on Trump. Dude is funny to me. I mean, he's funny, but funny only going to go so far, I guess. I mean, he's funny, but some of the things he's doing is not funny. And his homies was like, yo, we need you to knock it off, right? So now he's trying to come up with this plan to where he's going to let them come back when they go home and educate themselves. And, it's like, dude, come on. You're going to bring them back. Like I said, mark my words, it'll be so much easier than it's been ever before. Sound like Trump than ever before. Jacqueline says, I wouldn't come back. A lot of them are though, right? Let's see here. Charles, how you doing? Long time no see. He says it was the same way with the black slaves. We were able to adapt to their diseases and the hard work of the land. He said inner city, not only black people, no American would do that kind of work. We need those immigrants just as long as they come legally. Yeah. And but the part too is that they're not paying the immigrants a livable wage, right? So for anybody, I think Americans would do it, but Americans need a livable wage. Like, I'm not going to be getting out there for no $3. I don't even know how much they're paying them, right? But listen, the rent is too damn high to be out there picking strawberries. Yes, I said strawberries for next to nothing. I'm going to be out there 8 hours and I can't even pay the damn light bill, let alone the rent. Yeah, you need to pay me some money to be out there picking some strawberries or whatever it is, milking cows or whatever they're doing out there. I don't know. But yeah, come on with it. Come with the money. Negroes, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Micah says, I see someone looking to be flown out. And who is that? Daryl, how you doing? Says, you heard what the head of Russian Security Council said about Trump. The Mossad are not the only ones with information on you. Yeah, I'm quite sure there's a lot of people with information on Trump. Trump's been around for a very long time, talking to a lot of world leaders before he was president and all kind of stuff. So I'm sure they know a lot of stuff about Trump. And I don't know if y'all heard that they subpoenaed a lot of, sounds like Democrats and people who used to be in Washington, I guess maybe to testify about some aspects of the Epstein case, and Bill and Hillary Clinton are among those that are subpoenaed to testify. Interesting. Mars, did I say hello to you? Not hello. Huey, what's going on with you? Says black farmers are doing just fine. We've heard mixed stories, but okay. One who cares says, I have a one-way flight. Okay. Candy, how you doing? Says they want the cheap labor. Yep. Let me skip on down. Who haven't I seen? I seen you, but Veronica says I'm still in the inner city. All right, so you know what's up in the inner city. Easy E, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Patrice, what is up? Lord Flawless, what's up? He said, I think my ancestors work enough fields for me and many generations. You ain't lying. And for free, right? Lynn, how you doing? Says it's okay to bring them back just as long as they have been vetted and here legally and not trying to circumvent the immigration system. Something tells me Trump is going to allow them to circumvent the system. I don't know how long typically it takes for somebody to come over here and become an immigrant or, get papers or whatever it is. But if those farms need tilling now, I think they're probably going to cut some of that in half. Like, okay, maybe do a background on them and say, okay, come over. There's a field over there and a field over there. I'm thinking. All right. So Mar JN, how you doing? Said it's for the farm workers only. Okay. So people who coming over here to work on the farm. So what, and I'm interested, right? So if it's for the farm workers only, what do you stay on the farm? Can you not say, okay, I've worked for a year and I'm gonna go find another job somewhere in America? Like, do you have to stay there? Because then that's kind of sounded a little bit like slavery. I don't know. I'm just asking because I don't know. Tracy said, yeah, naturally, because it wasn't a choice. Come on now. Brenda, how you doing? Says, wow, they don't give a hoot about black farmers. How many of those illegals will help support black farmers? I'm done with all this wasted money on ICE. Yeah, there you go. And they're paying what? They're looking for ICE workers and they're going to pay them upwards of $50,000 signing bonus in addition to paying off student loans. And it's like, what's really going on here? And why? Now, obviously, we heard that a lot of people are quitting, not really in love with what they have to do. That's a giant signing bonus. And to pay your student loans off, hell, I'm thinking about going to do it. So if y'all don't see me on here, y'all know where I'm at. Jay Legend, how you doing? Says America needs to deport to save jobs, housing, and reduce crime. You would think, right? But it's all about the farm work, from what Trump is saying. So got some in my eye. I don't know what it is, but it's getting on my nerves. Hebrew Native, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. No reparation, no vote. What is up with you? 48 TCO in the building. He says, what's good, fam? I know y'all in here cutting up. Not yet, but it's early. Diane says, Demetra, some of our ancestors died after 4 years of being worked to death. Yeah. And with the convict leasing program, nobody really talks about that. They said, and oftentimes the convict leasing program was more brutal than slavery. Imagine that, Hebrew Native, I said hello to you. The church lady, how you doing? Long time no see. Says, hell no, we ain't going to the fields. I know I ain't. Queen Adia says they don't want to pay for the jobs they need to work for. They want to undermine the melanated workforce and guilt trip melanated people to get out there. They could guilt trip me with a nice paycheck, but what they paying them immigrants, I don't think so. I won't even drive by a field, okay? For that. Let's see. Moving on down neighborhood watch. How you doing? Long time no see. Says, and you folks that voted for Trump were with it. Well, people who voted for Trump, I guess, had their own reason. This is what I want to say too, because I think, and I'm not saying this about you, we got to stop thinking in absolute. Some things, I guess you have to, but for the most part, right? Isn't it safe to say that some people who voted for Trump, or any president, but let's say Trump, voted for Trump because they liked something he was doing, not all. And isn't it fair to say that those people who voted for Trump maybe didn't think he was going to go off the rails the way that he did, right? I'm just asking questions because we keep hearing that. Oh, we tried to tell you. Oh, y'all should. People would say the same thing if Kamala was in office. Kamala was in office, we would see the reverse of everything we got going on now. And either way, and a lot will argue with Kamala in office, Black Americans would be worse off. Now, I know we like to feel good and we like the joy and the vibes and the fish fries and the, twerking to the ball. We like all of that kind of stuff. But how is that helping us move the ball forward? I'm just asking. But I'm glad that you're here. Let's see, skipping on down. Ambassador, how you doing? Sent what's going on and said he's compromised now. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to be careful. He's older. He's older. So maybe the cobwebs are starting to take over, because it's like he just be saying stuff. And you can even see the look on the lady's face. And the man at the end was trying to cut him off like, okay. Damn it, man. That's a name. How you doing? It says, where does Trump policy affect y'all? Do tell. So what do you mean? Where does his policies affect us? Like good or bad? I guess that's where I'm trying to go with that. Shaw, he says, did he really think our mostly educated folks will go in the fields? He can't be that obtuse. Yeah, maybe he thought so. All black people ain't just, looking to go to the fields. We got other stuff we could be doing, So let's see. I'm just going to skip down a little bit, y'all, so I can catch up. I do see you guys' comments. Meshka, how you doing? Says, let them pick their own lazy sons of guns. Most definitely. Edwin, how you doing? Says, they really want cheap labor back. They could pay American citizens for their work, but that would be too much like right. And that is the main problem with America. There you go. Just pay a livable wage. But that gets misconstrued that, that Americans are lazy. No, we ain't crazy. We're not going out there working for what you paying them for. Because most of us don't have a rent that's, I don't know, $500 or whatever it is, right? Most of us aren't living with a bunch of us, which probably would be ideal now. But we can't afford to go to no field. It's going to cost us to drive out there more than what they're going to pay us. So it just doesn't make sense. But not wanting to work for next to nothing and lazy are not the same thing. So, yeah. And Tracy says, poor whites in the mountains breeding. You know what? You better stop. Jersey Rick, how you doing? Says Trump turning into Shaky Joe. I think so. I really think so. Hebrew Native says exactly. We have our own fields. I pick my own cotton. He says, fact, Trump promised MAGA we would do it. He lied. We are highly educated, is what you're saying. I have degrees. That's plural. Farm your own. I totally agree with you. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Paul, what's going on? He says, I will continue to deport all of them because they're hurting Black Americans. Well, that is true. But Trump was like, well, my homies is calling me up talking about these crops are dying and we need them back. And we haven't figured out a way to get, those inner city folks back on the field without forcing them to do it. Right. So, yeah. And this may not be a popular idea, maybe, but prisoners could get out there, and I don't have them doing no back-breaking stuff. But if I was in prison, I'd be like, okay, bet I'll go outside. I'll go outside and you get some sunshine or whatever and pick whatever it is you're going to pay me though, okay? Pay me. And then it'll give me a break from being inside. They could do that, but they got them doing other labor for other corporations. So maybe they're stretched thin. Hey, Deacon, how you doing? Sweet Natty Kool-Aid, what is up? He says, World War III ain't funny. No, not at all. Kai, how you doing? Says, those safety nets for immigrants are gone. They won't be coming back. That part. Because Kamala and them was like, what do you need? You need some money, you need some house, you need some food, you need some clothes, what you need? Trump is like, you want to come back over here? There's your part of the field that you need to be working, right? Michelle says Republicans are going to regret redistricting. Dems are going to do the same. The Republicans in Texas are awful. They are no better than Democrats. They're all awful. All of the Republicans are awful. They were all self-serving. All the things that they're doing, the gerrymandering and all that, it's for them, right? They don't care about the people because at the end of the day, the people don't have a voice. You got the Republicans, the politicians, and the Democrats. They're fighting with each other. And they're saying they're trying to help the people, but they're not. The people are getting last place of everything. So, yeah. Patrice says, during the Obama presidency, the deporter-in-chief, both political parties were pro-deportation. Furthermore, these corporations and billionaires did not have an issue with the deportation. Shaking my head, now it's an issue. However, these corporations are permitted to exploit illegal immigrants and pay them low wages, 16 hours, 7 days a week. Shaking my head, yeah. And they all knew from both sides of the aisle. They know and have known that is going on. But now that Trump came in there with a heavy hammer and swinging it everywhere, causing destruction or a wrecking ball, people, his homies are like, yeah, you're doing too much. It was cute when you were kind of doing it a little bit, but when you started running up on the farms and stuff, people won't show up to work because they're scared. They're like, now what are we gonna do? We're losing money. So yeah, Georgetta, how you doing? Says, I know one thing. If I was an immigrant, I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come back. Y'all crazy if you do. Yeah, it's like, what am I coming back for? Just to work some fields, you know? And Shaw says $11 an hour. I mean, that's a livable wage depending on where you live and what responsibilities you have. And it's actually not a livable wage, but I don't know if they're getting paid $11 an hour, which I doubt. But minimum wage nationally is $7.25, so it's better than that, but it's still not a livable wage. Maybe for some teenagers or something. Mr. Coffee, how you doing? Says the new jobs report just showed 1.7 million migrant workers are gone in the past 4 months. The job numbers haven't decreased. He says in the past 4 months, so someone is filling the jobs. Well, actually, this last jobs report, labor report was low. They said it's the lowest report for July in a long time, that they didn't add that many jobs at all. And it's not a good look. So, yeah. Of course, because y'all heard that he fired the labor board director because she fudged the numbers somehow. Crazy. Let's see. Tyrone, how you doing? FBA Jameson, what's going on with you? Frederick, how you doing? Says the Democrats will pay their rent for them. They were, right? And that's what Kamala was going to do. Pelsa, how you doing? Says absolutely. Let's see who else is on here. Micah says, I see someone wants to cut the line. Buckhorse, how you doing? Soto says the Dems leaving Texas is the same as the Republicans leaving when they fought for corporate. Who are the Dems fighting for and not us? I know. Well, they say that they are because, of course, with the gerrymandering, it's predominantly, from what I understand, in black and brown districts that the Republicans kind of want to split or take over. So they're saying that they're fighting for the people, but it all remains to be seen because they have the votes, the Republicans, they have the votes to make it happen, right? But they need the Democrats to come back. And so the Democrats are like, we're going to stay gone for as long as we can to stave off the vote. So it's interesting. Mike, how you doing? Says the only way I'm going out there is if I own it and my family owns it. I got you. Tracy says Demetra removing trolls is a flight out of here. Okay, got you. Now I'm on board. No pun intended. So Novia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Money Move says a bunch of them live together, so they don't need a lot of money like American people. You're absolutely right. And then they get that money together and they say, okay, we got enough to buy a house. And then we'll do it again. And then we'll do it again, right? Working from the fields. So yeah, let's see who else haven't I seen. Paul, did I see you? If not, I'll read your comment. It says Walmart and Publix starts closing. Many so-called black folks will starve to death depending on immigrants lazy. It says many black Americans will starve to death. Black folks. It says black folks will starve to death depending on how are we dependent on immigrants. I'm confused with that one. Maybe I misread that, but how are we depending on immigrants? 4-Day TCO says, I just heard Thunder Houston will be bipolar. Yeah, I was just seeing some weather going crazy out there. That's why I looked. Let's see, skipping on down. Narmer, how you doing? It says, peace and love. The Black Americans stand tall. Yes, indeed. D. Ernest, how you doing? Says these illegals are living about 10 to a 3-bedroom apartment. Those apartments probably owned by someone the farm owner knows. Good point. But they definitely do live like that, right? Sunlight, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay. DB Walker, what's going on? He says, love, I'm in. And I think your comment cut off. Manuel, how you doing? Says, everyone has to remember farmers aren't the rich ones. The packing company is the ones who makes the money. Absolutely right. So to your point, that's what I said earlier. These farms are connected to corporations, right? And these companies and corporations are like, yeah, our product is going bad out there in the field, Trump. You're doing too much, but you're right. Asha, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a long time. Thunder, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. Pop, how you doing? Hope you're well. Education is key. What is up? He says Trump is trying to make America look like the hills have eyes situation. He ain't got to work very hard. So like he says, Demetra, how can anyone have pride in a country that only can thrive by exploiting people? It should be an embarrassment. I hear what you're saying, but America was built on exploiting people. Since I want to say since its inception, right? Because there were people here, they came before Columbus, right? There was people here before the colonizers, the Europeans were here, So since they got here, it's been built on exploitation. So there's no shame in the game for them. It's as American as apple pie, right? Oh man, Jesus, how you doing? Says, damn Democrats. Oh wait, what? Timothy, how you doing? Hope that you are well. Thank you so much for that. Says, hey love, quote me on this. I won't be surprised if farms will be destroyed like a lot of these market stores and all this looting going around. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be destroyed by looting. I don't know. It's a possibility, but they'll be destroyed because people aren't there to harvest them, right? They need the people there. Now you would think in all this time they'd have a machine or something to do it, but no, I guess they still need people to do it. But I can see what you're saying from that aspect. And it sounds like that's kind of already happening. So yeah. Okay, skip it on down. Patricia says, black farmers have no issues. They farm their land. They were denied government assistance. Shaking my head. White farmers are lazy. You're absolutely right. They were denied governmental assistance. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? Frank, how you doing? Says, I've been, he says, teching y'all soon as he was talking that Doge scam. He says, what's teching? Tekking. Y'all soon I've been taking. I don't know what that means, but if you want to retype that, and maybe it's just me. Never bored. How you doing? Says, I believe you are correct. What the saying about who controls the food? You said, what's the saying about who controls the food? There's a lot of sayings about that. I'll say, okay, Frank said, I've been I've been telling y'all. Got you. Warren, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Says, I want to talk to you. Are black folks starting to lose their modalities? Do explain. Let's see, who else haven't seen it? Sunlight, I read your comment. Says, if black people are going to shame people who voted for Trump, please shame those who voted for Obama. Yeah, I mean, no president in the White House has done most what they said they were going to do. Maybe a little bit, but not even close, right? But again, like I said, I mean, we got to stop dealing in absolutes all the time. Sometimes it's important, but all the times, like, come on now. Jesse says, y'all lazy and complain. When you say y'all, you must be looking in a mirror. You say black people just want to be rappers and football players and complain when they don't. And y'all people want to just be out there watching football players and rappers. So you love it. So what are you talking about? Buddha, how you doing? Says the average CEO earns 100 times the amount of the average employee. All they have to do is take a pay cut, and they could afford to pay Americans no problem. You crazy. CEOs ain't taking no pay cut. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Oh man, Jesus said he told y'all about black jobs. You were told that it was a hint at racism, but y'all wanted to cry about Democrats and immigrants, and he's about to make reparations unconstitutional. I mean, if he makes it unconstitutional or not, we ain't got it. And we know the Democrats wasn't trying to give it to us. So neither one of them are righteous when it comes to black people. None of them are. So yeah. Jess, and now you're on here lying, okay? I will not oblige. Contrary, how you doing? Says, guess what? If they come back, they are going to be demanding more money, which will be coming out of our pockets. They might be. It remains to be seen. I think Trump probably put the cart before the horse. I think he probably spoke on a half-baked plan. I definitely think it's a conversation somewhere, but I think he spoke too soon, right? Letting the cat out the bag, per se. Laverne says, Trump having some senior moments. Oh, yes, a lot of them. Let's see. Veronica says, okay, so you're talking to somebody else. Let's see. Diane says, I'm sorry, Demetria, but wasn't the government having the farmers burn their crops? Now they're crying. Yes, that was a thing at one point in time as well. FBA Jameson says, I hope the Mexicans say no. They might, but some of them want to come over here. But what are the stipulations? Like somebody said, are you going to be able to come over here? Or are you going to be stuck to that farm? And are you only just brought over here again to work on the farm and nothing else? See, that's why I would be concerned. Meshka says, in politics, there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies, only permanent interests. Come on now. And I'm going to see who else haven't I seen on here. I see y'all comments. Just want to make sure. Tradina, did I say hello to you? If not, hello, how you doing? Carrie says they bankrupt the farmers so they can take their land. Yep. It's an old trick. Edwin, how you doing? He says, I once saw job postings about 5 or more years ago for positions working in the wine fields, harvesting grapes that paid really well and even providing money to relocate and housing. That was in California. Yes, I remember that. Laquan, how you doing? Says the good thing is the world can see America has a scamming government no better than any other third world country. Yeah, all of the governments all over the world scam, right? And then one day, depending on where it is, people wake up and say, okay, the gig is up. And then they turn up, right? And they get them out of there, whatever the case is. But they're all scammers. All of them. I saw a video of today of Trump. He was on the roof of the White House and reporters are like, what are you doing up there? And he's just like, oh, you know, kind of vague about it. And somebody says, are you thinking about building a second story? And I thought the White House had a second story, but I don't know. Are you thinking about building a second story? He's like, well, yeah, if I did it, I would be financing it. I would be funding it myself. I was like, man, if you don't get down. Because we know damn well that they coming out of his pocket, right? He gonna shake somebody down. Lan, how you doing? Says the lie people don't work. You know what? I ain't never thought about it like that. The lie people. Negro says we need a rent stimulus or freeze on cancellation, whichever works. Yep. Totally agree with you. Skipping down AMPDM1, what's going on with you? Says if they haven't mechanized their fields over the last 35 years, they deserve to go out of business. Yeah, I'm thinking, right? Don't they got the cotton gin and stuff where it's supposed to be easier to pick cotton or whatever? So yeah, why isn't it, you know, more automated or whatever the case is? Damon, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. Capture the moment. What's going on with you? Says no representation, no work. I got you. Anthony, how you doing? Says let Republicans draw new districts in Texas that are represented by Black people who ain't Black Americans. Says we will vote in real Black FBAs, not the Jasmine Rice and Kamala Collards. I got you. Norma, you say I love thunderstorms. I do not. I hate them because they're scary. Swizzy, how you doing? Says whites are lazy. They'll let their crops rot instead of tending to their land. Well, you know, there's a lot of sun out there. And I don't know how strong their sunscreen is. So maybe it's an issue of they can't. Ridge, how you doing? Says we built this country on innovation. You ain't lying. Deacon says no, hell no more Mexicans. Well, you know, Mexicans are in America, and a lot of them, most of them are here legally, right? So, you know, how about illegal immigrants? And there's illegal immigrants from all over the world, right? But Mexicans are indigenous to, well, you know, California. They're residents and citizens and all of that, right? But yeah. All right, let's see. Byron, how you doing? Says Black Americans are the hardest working people in America. Our men work well. I agree with you. Totally. Let's see. I got to skip down so I can catch up. Still, he says the farmers just need to buy the equipment needed for the harvest. Yeah, it's like, why haven't they? You know, that way you don't get AI to do it. They got AI to do everything else. They can't get no little robots out there. Ask Elon to get out there with their little robots. And their backs ain't gonna hurt. They're not gonna sweat. They're not gonna have heat strokes. They're not gonna want vacation. You surely ain't gotta pay them. Get some AI robots out there. You got AI to do everything else. You're replacing. I mean, hell, McDonald's workers are being replaced by machines. So you can't get no machines out there. They probably already thinking about it, but I don't know. I'm just asking. That's how Elon could get back in the good graces of Trump. Randy, you say farmers mostly rent their massive machines for a co-op. Check out the Farmers Act. Okay. Timothy, thank you so much. He says you look as good as bacon, egg, and cheese. You should have said sandwich. But thank you. And thank you for the donation. Thunder, he says, am I wrong for thinking that Black Americans will be just fine? No, you ain't wrong. It says we have done so much with so little for so long that we are more than capable to do any and everything with absolutely nothing. Yeah, we'll be fine. You know, people want to try to freak us out, right? Y'all going back on the plantations, and the way Trump was sounding, maybe we, I don't know, I'm just playing. um, you know, but we'll be fine. We always have been. Like you said, our ancestors left those plantations with nothing. Just the tattered clothes on their backs. Massa didn't say, well, here's a cupboard full of food or some seeds, some water even. It's like, well, you ain't gonna stay and work for free, then you get your ass out of here, you know? And they made something out of it. So yeah, we'll be fine. We always are. Deacon says, living by Mexicans ain't nothing easy. I mean, I've lived by Mexicans. I haven't had any problems, but that's just me. When my family, when I was a kid, we lived in LA. We lived in East Los, right? East Los Angeles. And back then, it was a little bit more mixed, but we had Mexican neighbors. So, yeah. And you're in Florida, aren't you? If I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? Damon, he says the big, beautiful bill set up them folks for life, invest in the market family. Yeah, that stock market, boy. I mean, it has its dips, but then it comes up. Like I said, yesterday was a great day, but today, last time I checked, I mean, it slumped a little bit. But yeah, you see, but the thing about the stock market is you got to know how to play it. And it's like playing, right? Gambling. Because if you don't, you're going to end up losing your money. You have to be well versed, or maybe have a financial, planner, or who somebody delves in the stocks or whatever, do it for you. Licensed, I should say. But even then, it's a gamble. But yeah, people are making a lot of money. Demetrius, how you doing? Says, why y'all keep trusting in that White House is a mystery to me. Who is this y'all? If you know, you know. But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. Totally. Paul, he says, I have no pity nor love for any immigrant. That this is our ancestors' land. Absolutely. Manuel, he says, Mexico doesn't need the USA. Brick will soar. Trump wants seasonal workers. Yeah. I get it. I get it. Let's see, skipping down. Brenda says they're doing all this while FBAs are in the worst position out here. Come on with that hate crime bill. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Trump ain't gonna give us no hate crime bill. Kamala and Biden didn't give us one either. Obama didn't give us one either. Avenge the ancestors, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And yes, indeed. Deacon, thank you so much. I would have you guys call in, but when I'm by myself, if you call in and God forbid the power goes out, which it shouldn't, because I got a new little toy to keep it on, then you'll be up here by yourself. So usually if I have somebody else up here like Donovan or Walter, I'll share the link. So if Walter comes on tomorrow, I promise I will share the link. But thank you so much for that love and appreciate you. Flavored Genuine FG, how you doing? Says Trump said he wants to make America great again by deporting all migrants, and he's actually backtracking. I thought he was a man of his word. He's backtracking, but money will make you break a lot of promises. I think it's kind of well documented that Trump is a liar. He's lied a lot throughout his life. But most politicians do, right? And he just became that for 2016 or so, a politician. But yeah, it's not shocking to me. Let's see. Thunder says, family, if you can grow something, it doesn't matter what it is. Greens, okra are extremely easy to grow. Stock up on your pantry and get with some family or like-minded folks and put together a plan. Totally. Like you said, stock up, save your food and your water. If you can grow something, do that. Definitely. Ursula, how you doing? Ursa, rather, I'm sorry. He says, ain't nothing wrong with foundational Black Americans. I never said there were. Just skipping down just a tiny bit. Who haven't I seen? Deacon says, I'm the only one with orange and mango trees in your neighborhood. He says the food is giving us cancer. Yep. Manuel says the majority of people he's sending back were in process of becoming legal. Yeah, I've heard that as well, because originally he said he was going to send criminals, right? Really sending the criminals back, but it sounds like all kind of people from all walks of life are going back. I saw it was like an Asian, he was like a CEO or something recently last week. He got snatched up. Another Asian, I think she was a professor or something, somewhere, she got snatched up as well. So yeah. Buckhorse, you say somebody miss their guests with us. Okay. Remain confident when how you doing. Says why whites won't work do the work. You know why they won't do it. Psh, right? The sun. And come on now. They didn't do it when they kidnapped us and brought us to the plantations and kept us there. They didn't do it then. Ain't nothing changed. They passed that down to their ancestors. They wasn't doing it then. And they couldn't do it. The work that our people did and survived, they wouldn't have survived that. They wouldn't have survived that at all. So don't ever let nobody tell you black people are weak and lazy. Nah, because we did the work we didn't want to do and the work that they couldn't do. Not for long anyway. So yeah. LaShondra says, you're a comedian. I think I'm just a little stupid. I'm just kidding. Anonymous B, how you doing? Said the robots will attack. And maybe they should. Hebrew Native says they caught the vice president buying up farmland that he helped them lose due to funding. Then placed South Africans that have never farmed on them. Now it's not working out for them either. Yeah, it was at Black Rock or something like that he got caught in. Yep. Skipping down, Edwin says, get Elon Musk to rush that robot production line. Stop production on the Teslas. I'm just saying, why haven't they thought of that? Essence of a Set, how you doing? Says they have the machines inside and they want people outside. Got you. Them robots ain't special. They could get out there in the sun and, I'm sure they'd be more efficient and all of that, know which ones are bad, and they should do it. It'll be cheaper. Don't just stop at McDonald's with AI or the banks or wherever else, self-checkout. Take them in the field. Avenged Ancestor says all Mexican and I think you're saying Mexicans, says is in the country illegally because they think they're Spaniard. Well, Trump is reminding them that, you ain't like me, orange. One Who Cares says, we don't want Jasmine Crockett to us. We have enough problems. Yeah. Jasmine has been kind of quiet. She said she was just going to give the Democrat Party a rest because they kind of said she's not a team player. So she's going off in the church. Oh, did y'all hear about the pastor out here? Kirby John, somebody. He got out of prison and went right back into the pool pit. Now he went to prison because he rooked a bunch of senior citizens out of $4 million. So he did some time, I don't know, it was a few years or so, and they let him back in the pool pit. Wild. Just absolutely wild. Like, F them old people, huh? Forget them. He stole their money and did some time, but we gonna let, what could he say to y'all? After doing that to the older people in the congregation, then come back up in there. Hallelujah. Like, how does that work? It's crazy. One Who Cares, she says, we don't want Jasmine Crockett. Crystal, how you doing? Says, innovate, invent, and own the rights to your stuff. There you go. We're seeing a lot of our people, especially in the entertainment industry, learn those lessons. Salt and Pepper, I saw them making the media tour, basically saying how they're fighting. I think it's Universal. Universal always being something, right? Fighting them for their masters. Like, y'all ain't got your masters? That's crazy. But it's not surprising. Dano, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mars says, no, I don't want no machine doing all of that. I'm just saying, if the premise for them to save money, then they need to go on and get the machines out there. Black people never benefited from voting Democrats. How you doing? Says, this is what I want. All my friends thought I was crazy for sitting on the couch. And I said the Democrats will help everyone but us. And he was going to hurt everyone. Yeah, well, you were right on the money. Trump. Thunder, you were talking to somebody else. Let's see, just skipping down still. It says the reason Democrats and Republicans don't give us anything is because we're not included in their plans for America at all, which is why we need to be doing for self, right? Paul says we must start growing and producing our own foods. No race or people can survive without land and animals. That is true. Laverne says, going to check, fill out, Demetra. Much enjoyed being here, and I enjoyed you being here. Skipping down and Flavor Genuine says, I'm doing okay, Demetra. It's not easy year, but I'm making the best of my current situation. Trust me, you are not alone. There's a lot of us that's like, oh Lord, I need you now. So trust me. I get it. And I hope things turn around for you rather quickly. DJ Specs, how you doing? Mr. Coffee says, you never look into Chicago Flips Red. Oh, yeah. Says, Danny C got a channel that shows what's happening in Chicago. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Miss Jessica Jackson is part of that. And she watches the show. And I had a pleasure to meet her and others from Chicago. I got to meet Afro Elite. That was amazing. So, yes, I'm very familiar with Chicago Flips Red. They're trying to flip Chicago red from the Democrats to Republicans. Think it through. How you doing? Says, well, no one's going to work fields. And if you do bring them back, they're going to be vetted at least. Well, we know who they are. We'll know who they are. Absolutely. Cal, how you doing? Says, immigrants aren't criminals. President Orange Buffoon. I didn't say that they're criminals. There's some that are criminals, but there's a lot of criminals that's already here. So, yeah. Raging Woody, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Buckhorse says, I need some food stamps. Okay, when you get some, let me know where you got them from. And tell them it's 50 cents on the dollar. Kevin, how you doing? Said, Demetra, have you heard about the black people in Virginia being attacked and forced off the road? Yes, I did. I saw that yesterday, as a matter of fact, by 3 white people. And they maced them with guns and caused the black female to be ejected. Yeah, and then they were charged with something minor. And I'm like, that's the real Hills Have Eyes right there, right? Because they said they broke down and they saw the Hills Have Eyes people coming out, and they thought maybe they were coming to help, because I think they said they saw one of the Hills Have Eyes character do a thumbs up. So she said she thought he was coming to help. And then lo and behold, they got into some real funky stuff, right? Chasing them with guns and, aiming it at them and running them off the road. It's crazy. And they got type of charge. So it remains to be seen. But I do plan to talk about that. Okay, bro, go. How you doing? Yes, happy August 5th. Oh my God, I forgot to say that. Happy August 5th to you guys. Of course, you guys know that was the Montgomery, Alabama brawl where they set it off against the Hills Have Eyes to let them know we are not for play, okay? Go play with your mama, but do not play with us. So if you have not celebrated today in any way, just do something. If you got to pour something out for the homies, whatever it is you do, make sure you do it in remembrance of August 5th, the newest Black holiday. Yes, indeed. So 23 Archer, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says they don't want to be that close for long periods to the pesticides. And we don't either. Skipping down, I see I'm almost out of time. Destiny, how you doing? Says the Most High is dismantling the system. If you know, you know. Sherry Stone, what's going on with you? Says the Most High ain't in these churches and religions. Nope, not no more. D. Ernest says if illegals were faced with being enslaved in the U.S. like black people, they would be running through the swamps and desert back to Mexico. Well, they might be in for that if that's what they're coming over here to do, right? Because I'm quite sure Trump ain't gonna say, well, y'all could come and go as you please, you know. If you don't like this job anymore, just put in a 2-week resignation. We'll understand. I'm sure it ain't going to be that. Kirby John is his name. Sean Kirby John, a preacher out here in Houston somewhere. It's a mega church. Asha says, y'all seen the white man try to snap a sister's neck? My daughter showed me that. There's so many things that I need to talk about. Said snap the sister's neck because she declined his advances and she beat the brakes off of him as she should have. But I also heard there was some other people standing around watching all that go on too. So that's kind of sad. All right, I'm going all the way to the bottom, acknowledging everybody that I have not seen. And that looks like I'm so far behind. FM, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Rodney, what's going on with you? Says, so you're talking to somebody else, but how you doing? I got to the bottom. Woohoo! We made it to the bottom. Listen. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all, as I will, yes, get a white chair, sit in the white chair, get something. I don't know. But I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will be back here tomorrow. Beverly White, how you doing? I'll be back here tomorrow, same time. I don't know if Walter will be here. He'll be here if he's not on that antiquated computer that he has. But anyway, if you guys found any value in what we did, there's ways to donate to the channel. Love and appreciate you. But at the very least, please like and subscribe and all those other things. Love you dearly. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.